A sacred island where women are forbidden, a love hotel with spaceship rooms, and strangers paid to pretend they're your family. This isn't sci-fi, this is Japan. From hidden rituals to surreal realities, these 15 facts will change everything you thought you knew. Welcome to the most mysterious nation on Earth, and trust us, it only gets stranger from here. Japan is famously known as the land of the rising sun, a poetic nickname that sounds almost mythical. But this name is more than just a romantic title. It has deep roots in Japan's geography and cultural identity. Geographically, Japan lies at the easternmost edge of the Eurasian continent. This means it's among the first inhabited places on Earth to see the sunrise each day. In fact, the kanji characters for Nippon or Nihon, how the Japanese call their own country, literally mean origin of the sun. This reference to Japan as the birthplace of the sunrise has been embraced since ancient times and reflects both its spiritual connection to nature and its reverence for celestial beauty. Japan's physical form is just as fascinating. Despite having a total land area of about 378,000 square kilometers, roughly the size of California, it is made up of over 6,800 islands. Among these, 4 major islands, Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku, account for 97% of the country's total landmass. These islands are not only geographically significant, but also home to Japan's major cities, cultural centers, and natural landmarks. Japan's terrain is dominated by mountains and volcanic landscapes. Mount Fuji, an almost perfectly symmetrical stratovolcano, is the tallest mountain in the country. More than just a natural wonder, it's a sacred symbol deeply woven into Japanese art, literature, and religion. Many locals and tourists climb Mount Fuji during the summer months, hoping to catch the first rays of the sun from its peak, a modern-day homage to Japan's title. The country also enjoys a temperate climate with 4 distinct seasons, each offering its own unique charm. In spring, the famous sakura, or cherry blossoms, bloom, drawing millions to parks and temples for hanami, the cherished tradition of flower viewing. Summer is a lively time marked by fireworks festivals, street food, and traditional celebrations like Obon, which honors ancestors. Autumn brings a dramatic change of color as maple trees turn crimson, often called Japan's second cherry blossom season. Finally, winter blankets much of the country in snow, making it a haven for skiers and snowboarders, especially in regions like Hokkaido and Nagano. This year-round beauty makes Japan a rare travel gem, one that captivates visitors in every season. Despite its compact size, Japan has a population of about 125 million people, making it the 11th most populous country in the world. However, there's a dramatic demographic twist. Nearly 30% of the population is over the age of 65, making Japan the fastest aging nation on the planet. This aging population presents serious challenges, from labor shortages to increased healthcare demands, issues that Japan is addressing with automation, immigration policy reforms, and a strong emphasis on elder care innovation. Linguistically, Japanese is a complex yet beautiful language. What makes it so intricate is its unique writing system. Unlike most languages, Japanese uses 3 scripts, kanji, which are characters borrowed from Chinese, hiragana, and katakana. Each serves different purposes, and mastering all 3 is no small feat. This makes Japanese one of the hardest languages to learn for foreigners. But surprisingly, interest in the language is booming. Thanks to the worldwide popularity of anime, manga, and Japanese pop culture, millions of non-Japanese learners are diving headfirst into its complexities. There's a stereotype that still lingers in the global imagination, that Japanese women are demure, traditional, and quietly submissive. But in modern Japan, that image is being completely rewritten. Today's Japanese women are bold, independent, and redefining what it means to be successful. More than 70% of working-age women hold stable jobs, and many are climbing the ranks in traditionally male-dominated industries like tech, finance, and corporate leadership. The image of a lifelong homemaker is no longer the norm. Instead, a growing number of women are choosing careers, financial independence, and personal growth, prioritizing their own ambitions over societal expectations. When it comes to marriage and relationships, there's also a notable shift. The average age of marriage for women in Japan has climbed to 29 to 30, which is significantly later than the average across much of Asia. In major urban centers like Tokyo or Osaka, it's not unusual for a woman in her mid-30s to be single, successful, and unapologetically so. These women are confident, well-traveled, and focused on investing in themselves, whether that means pursuing hobbies, building wealth, or simply enjoying life. And when they do consider settling down, they're far more selective. Love is no longer an obligation, it's a conscious choice. Interestingly, more and more Japanese women are turning to foreign men when it comes to romance. The reason? Emotional expression. Cultural norms in Japan often discourage public displays of affection. Many Japanese men, while hardworking and loyal, may struggle with emotional communication. It's not uncommon to hear stories of men forgetting anniversaries or avoiding verbal expressions of love, viewing such moments as awkward or unnecessary. Foreign men, especially those from Western countries, are often seen as more emotionally open, communicative, and spontaneous. They are more likely to say, "I love you," plan romantic surprises, or express their feelings openly, qualities that many Japanese women appreciate and seek in a partner. As a result, Japan sees 6,000 to 7,000 international marriages involving Japanese women each year, and this number is growing, particularly in cosmopolitan cities. These relationships are a reflection of a broader cultural evolution, where Japanese women are actively shaping their own narratives and redefining what happiness, love, and success look like. Imagine leaving your wallet on a public bench, going about your day, and returning hours later to find it exactly where you left it, untouched, unbothered. In most places, this scenario sounds absurd, but in Japan, it's a reflection of everyday life. Japan holds one of the lowest crime rates in the world, especially when it comes to serious offenses like theft, robbery, or assault. Violent crime is so rare that in some regions, law enforcement has had to come up with sting operations, not to catch criminals, but simply to test if there are any. These setups involve planting unlocked bicycles or purposely dropping wallets in public spaces to see if anyone dares to take them. Often the wallet is picked up and handed in, the bicycle remains untouched. In many areas it seems there's just no one to arrest. This might sound like an exaggerated urban legend, but it's based in truth, and it speaks volumes about Japan's deeply embedded culture of civility and honor. This strong sense of communal responsibility, combined with a highly visible police presence, strict weapon control laws, and a culture that prioritizes harmony, creates a society where trust is not only expected, it's earned and reciprocated. In short, Japan isn't safe by accident, it's safe by design. The space-age food that became a global lifeline, and even a museum exhibit. Think of Japan's most famous food export and sushi might spring to mind. But when it comes to the dish that fed the world, saved millions from hunger, and even reached outer space, the answer is surprisingly humble. Instant noodles. It all began in 1958 when a visionary Japanese inventor named Momofuku Ando created the world's first instant noodle in a tiny kitchen in Osaka. His goal was simple but profound: to end hunger by developing an affordable, nutritious, and easy-to-prepare meal. His solution? Pre-cooked noodles that could be made ready to eat in just 3 minutes with hot water. This seemingly modest invention became one of the most important culinary breakthroughs of the 20th century. It was convenient, cheap, and honestly adaptable to almost any culture. From college dorms in America to disaster relief zones around the globe, instant noodles became a symbol of survival and simplicity. But in Japan, they're not just a quick meal, they're a national treasure. The country has really elevated the concept of instant noodles to an art form. While many around the world are familiar with basic flavors like chicken or beef, in Japan, there are literally hundreds of flavors and variations. Think miso ramen, soy-based broth, spicy seafood curry, and even unusual options like wasabi, pizza, and horse meat. Yes, you read that right. Horse meat-flavored instant noodles exist in Japan. Some are so rare that they're only available during certain seasons or in specific regions, creating limited edition hype that honestly rivals the release of a new smartphone. This culinary obsession is taken so seriously that there's even a museum dedicated entirely to instant noodles. The Cup Noodles Museum in Yokohama is not your average food exhibit. It's actually an interactive experience where visitors can walk through the history of instant noodles, see how they evolved, and even step into a recreation of Ando's original workspace. But the highlight? You get to design your own cup of noodles. Choose your broth, your toppings, from traditional corn and scallions to adventurous options like kimchi or shrimp, and even decorate the cup with your own drawings. It's personalized, edible, and uniquely Japanese. If the soul of Japan's cultural refinement could take human form, it would be a geisha. Not just a woman, but a living embodiment of art, tradition, and grace. Geisha literally means a person of the arts. These women are trained professionals in classical Japanese music, dance, and performance. But to understand a geisha is to understand centuries of Japanese history, the quiet strength of femininity, the power of poise, and the quiet command of culture carried in a whisper, a gesture, or a silent gaze. In Western portrayals, geishas have often been misunderstood, mistaken as courtesans or entertainers in a more provocative sense. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Geishas do not sell their bodies, they sell mastery. Mastery of art, of storytelling, of etiquette, and above all, presence. They are the cultural celebrities of the Edo period and beyond, the original influencers of refinement and beauty in Japan. Everything about a geisha's appearance is intentional and deeply symbolic. The kimono she wears is often in subdued, earthy tones, signaling maturity and dignity. Her obi, the wide sash tied at the back, is knotted in a way that distinguishes her from other performers. Her makeup is an art in itself, a white-painted face, a centuries-old practice once intended to reflect candlelight in dim rooms, paired with crimson-red lips and precisely drawn black eyebrows. The style of makeup and kimono also changes with the seasons and stages of her career. But perhaps what's most mesmerizing is how a geisha moves. Every step is deliberate, and every bow carries generations of tradition. Watching a geisha pour tea, or play the shamisen, a three-stringed instrument, is like watching a ballet of subtleties. Her smallest gestures speak louder than words ever could. Though geishas are fewer today, they are far from extinct. In Kyoto's Gion district or Tokyo's Asakusa, you can still witness these living relics of a bygone era, carrying Japan's soul on their shoulders. In many cultures, an apology is as simple as saying, "I'm sorry." But in Japan, apology is not merely a sentence, it is a ceremony of humility, a carefully choreographed act of remorse that can go as far as the removal of one's own hair. To understand this, we must first understand how deeply woven the concept of honor is in Japanese society. Here, maintaining social harmony is paramount. Mistakes are not just personal, they are public, collective, and often shameful. And so, apologies are treated with the gravity of a sacred ritual. The art of bowing, for instance, is graded with military precision. A 15-degree bow is used for everyday greetings. A 30-degree bow signals respect. But a 45-degree bow is reserved for serious apologies. The most profound form, called dojeza, involves kneeling on the floor, bowing until one's forehead touches the ground. It signifies that the apology is coming from the deepest depth of one's soul, a wordless plea for forgiveness. But sometimes even dojeza isn't enough. In extreme cases, individuals will go as far as to shave their heads. This is not a trend or an aesthetic choice. It's an act of atonement, a public display of personal disgrace. This practice dates back to the samurai era, when a warrior's hair was a symbol of his pride. To shave it off voluntarily was to strip away one's ego, to say, "I have nothing left but remorse." One of the most publicized examples of this occurred in 2013, when a Japanese pop idol from the group AKB48 was photographed leaving a man's apartment, violating the group's strict no-dating policy. She appeared in a YouTube apology video the next day with a shaved head, crying as she begged for forgiveness. It caused international outrage. But in Japan, it was a gesture that said, "I take full responsibility, and I will sacrifice my pride to prove it." If you accidentally bump into someone in Japan, they might actually be the one who says sumimasen first. It's not necessarily an admission of guilt, it's really a form of empathy. A way of saying, "I see you. I don't want to disrupt our harmony." When you think of cutting-edge technology, sleek robots, autonomous cars, and powerful computers, you might picture Silicon Valley. Japan spends over 3% of its GDP annually on research and development, a staggering figure that places it among the top spenders globally. This is not a recent trend, but a long-standing national commitment to innovation, where scientific advancement is treated as a cultural virtue and a key pillar of national strength. From the towering skyscrapers of Tokyo to the robotic arms dancing silently on factory floors in Nagoya, Japan has mastered the fusion of precision, automation, and human-centered design. Global giants like Toyota, Sony, Panasonic, Hitachi, Toshiba, and Fujitsu are more than just companies. They're symbols of Japan's relentless drive toward excellence. Toyota, the undisputed king of automobiles, sells over 10 million cars each year. But perhaps Japan's most awe-inspiring achievements lie where most people never look: industrial robotics. Japan manufactures over half of the world's robots, a dominance that quietly supports industries from automotive to microchip manufacturing around the globe. These robots aren't just efficient, they're precise to the micrometer. capable of assembling devices as intricate as smartphones and as large as aircraft engines. In Japan, the future is not a break from the past, it's an evolution. So while others make noise about disruption, Japan continues to quietly build the infrastructure of tomorrow, brick by digital brick. It is not just a technological powerhouse. It is a philosophy of progress, disciplined, deliberate, and deeply human. Imagine this. You're invited to a wedding, but you have no partner to bring. You're dreading your parents' questions, the loneliness, the quiet judgment. In Japan, there's a solution. You can rent a family, a friend, even a lover. Yes, in a society where emotional connection often falls behind career ambitions and societal pressure, relationship rental services have become a booming business, both bizarre and heartbreakingly human. In Tokyo and other major cities, companies offer a menu of people you can hire. Need a pretend boyfriend to meet your parents? A fake husband for a family gathering? A father figure for your child's school event? There's someone for that, and they come with resumes. Prices range from $50 to $100 per hour, depending on the role's complexity. But, for full-scale performances, like staged weddings with actors playing every major role, the cost can soar into the thousands. Everything from body language to family backstory is rehearsed in advance. Some agencies even write full scripts to ensure every embrace, every laugh, every tear appears genuine. The actors are trained professionals, some even with backgrounds in theater or counseling. They can cry on cue, offer heartfelt advice, or smile like a childhood friend. Many clients say the illusion becomes so convincing they forget it's fake, if only for a moment. Behind the spectacle lies a deeper story. Japan is facing an epidemic of loneliness. Over 1/3 of Japanese households are single-person homes and, social pressure often discourages open expression of vulnerability. And honestly, the demand isn't just coming from individuals. Some companies go as far as hiring fake staff to impress investors, or even rent mourners for funerals just to save face in front of distant relatives. There's, believe it or not, even a service where you can rent someone to apologize on your behalf, a surreal extension of Japan's intricate apology culture. These kinds of rented connections really raise some profound questions. Is it wrong to simulate intimacy if it brings comfort? Or maybe, is this actually a cry for help in a society that's struggling to keep up with the emotional consequences of modern life? In the land where robots walk among humans and perfection is, engineered, the most pressing problem isn't technological, it's emotional. And in Japan, even loneliness can be outsourced, scripted, and sold. If you ever stroll through a back street in Tokyo, Osaka, or Kyoto and notice a building gleaming with neon hearts, futuristic shapes, or kitschy architecture that looks part spaceship, part soap opera, you've likely just walked past one of Japan's 20,000-plus love hotels. Yes, you heard that right. Over 20,000. But what may raise eyebrows in some parts of the world is, in Japan, simply practical, creative, and surprisingly accepted. These hotels aren't scandalous corners of secrecy. They're architectural expressions of privacy, intimacy, and even escapism, built in a society where discretion and harmony often reign over open displays of affection. Each love hotel is a universe of its own. You won't find dull rooms here. Instead, you'll discover themed fantasies taken to astonishing levels. Hello Kitty palaces, medieval castles, spaceship cockpits, jungle-themed adventures, or even mini prison cells complete with bars for role-play. In a country where many young adults still live at home well into their 30s due to housing costs and cultural norms, love hotels provide a rare sanctuary, a place where couples newly dating or long married can find space to reconnect, away from prying eyes. The process? Seamless. No check-in counter, no awkward greetings. Just walk in, select a room via touchscreen, and you're in. Off the tranquil coast of Fukuoka Prefecture lies a forbidden world, a sacred island shrouded in mist and mystery. Its name is Okinoshima, and for over 1,000 years, no woman has ever set foot on it. This is not a superstition or an outdated rule. It is a living, breathing ritual, still honored today in modern Japan. On Okinoshima, Shinto beliefs are preserved in their purest form, untouched by electricity, tourism, or modern distractions. Only a select few men, typically priests from the Munakata Taisha shrine, are allowed entry. But even they must first strip completely, undergo purification rituals in the sea, and leave behind all possessions, mental, material, and emotional. They are to carry no cameras, take no souvenirs, and speak of nothing they see. What happens on Okinoshima remains sealed within its moss-covered trees and ancient shrines. Why this strict separation? According to tradition, women were believed to pollute the island's spiritual purity, especially during menstruation, a notion rooted in ancient Shinto taboos. Today, while this belief is seen as controversial and debated, the practice continues as part of Japan's commitment to preserving the sanctity of its oldest religious customs. But don't let the island's silence fool you. Beneath its quiet forest canopy, archaeologists have uncovered tens of thousands of offerings left by ancient seafarers between the 4th and 9th centuries. These include bronze mirrors from China, gold rings from the Korean peninsula, glass beads, ritual blades, and jade jewelry, evidence that Okinoshima was once a major hub of maritime trade and a holy ground where merchants offered their most prized possessions for safe voyages. Many of these artifacts remain undisturbed, enshrined on the island like forgotten whispers of an ancient world. Because of this remarkable preservation, UNESCO named Okinoshima a World Cultural Heritage Site in 2017, not just for its religious significance, but for its role as a silent spiritual time capsule. Today, only one day a year, May 27th, are non-priests allowed to visit, and even then, only 200 men are selected by lottery. No photos, no phones, no talking, just silence, reverence, and a fleeting glimpse into Japan's invisible spiritual heart. Imagine a land where the earth breathes, where the mountains whisper warmth into steaming pools, and mist curls up like ancient spirits. That land is Japan, home to more than 27,000 natural hot springs and over 3,000 onsen resorts, the highest number on Earth. Whether nestled in a tranquil forest, perched on a snowy mountaintop, hidden in a remote village, or tucked within a bustling city, onsens are everywhere. Like portals to serenity, just waiting to be discovered. But onsens are not just about hot water. In Japan, they are a cultural sanctuary, an unspoken ritual of healing that goes far beyond relaxation. To the Japanese, entering an onsen is like returning to nature's womb, a place to cleanse the body, quiet the mind, and revive the soul. Elders come seeking relief from aching joints and weary bones. Workers escape the relentless pressure of deadlines. Families reunite in peaceful silence, soaking under open skies and whispering steam. And couples sit shoulder to shoulder, letting the waters say what words cannot. What surprises most foreigners, though, is the deeply rooted tradition of communal nude bathing. No swimsuits, no towels in the water, just bare skin and a belief in radical equality, because when you're naked, status disappears. Rich or poor, CEO or farmer, everyone is just human. Before entering the sacred waters, one must wash meticulously, every inch of the body from between your toes to behind your ears, to show respect for the shared space. And inside, there's no talking loudly, no running, no selfies, because this is not a swimming pool. It is a temple of stillness. In winter, the experience becomes even more surreal. Picture yourself soaking in an outdoor Rotenborough, steam rising as snowflakes drift down onto your shoulders, surrounded by snow-laden trees. Time slows, the world softens. You feel something ancient stir within you. There are even unique themed onsens, like the Unison Spa Resort in Hakone, where you can bathe in wine, coffee, green tea, or sake. Others offer views of Mount Fuji or allow you to soak under the stars. No matter where you go, stepping into an onsen is like stepping into a timeless Japanese tradition, one that believes true peace comes not from escape, but from immersion. To travel through Japan is to walk a tightrope between ancient myth and modern marvel. And no journey is complete without visiting its iconic landmarks that breathe life into both. First, there is Mount Fuji, not just the highest mountain in Japan at 3,776 meters, but a divine being in itself. Revered as the mountain of the gods, Fuji is a sacred symbol etched deep into the Japanese psyche. Artists, poets, monks, and climbers have all come to her slopes, seeking beauty, wisdom, or penance. Climbing Fuji isn't just a hike, it's a spiritual ascent, a pilgrimage into the clouds. On clear mornings in spring, Fuji appears like a brushstroke of ink and snow against the sky, a living painting breathing with quiet majesty. Then there is Osaka Castle, a fortress that once witnessed bloodshed and betrayal during the era of samurais and shoguns. Today, with its shimmering white walls, jade-green roofs, and golden dragons curling up its turrets, it stands not just as a historical site, but as a romantic echo of Japan's warrior past. Tourists can don full samurai armor and pose where lords once defended their honor, a time machine in the heart of the city. For a journey into Japan's mystical calm, walk into the Sagano bamboo forest in Arashiyama, Kyoto. As you stroll beneath towering green stalks swaying in the wind, a strange hush falls over the world. The sound of wind rustling through the bamboo is so sacred, it has been designated one of Japan's 100 soundscapes to be preserved forever. Here, Your footsteps become part of a symphony, one between nature and silence. And if you're looking for something truly otherworldly, visit Owakudani in Hakone, an active volcanic valley filled with boiling sulfur springs, smoking craters, and the famous black eggs, cooked in mineral-rich waters. Legend says that eating one adds 7 years to your life. The egg's shell turns pitch black, but its center is soft and warm, a symbol of how life and death dance side by side in Japan's volcanic underworld. From mountains that reach the gods to eggs that challenge death, Japan's iconic destinations are not just places, they're experiences, metaphors, and poems written across the landscape. Japan is a land of balance, serene onsens, orderly trains, silent forests. But it is also a nation of fire, color, music, and dance. With over 300,000 festivals a year, Japan holds more traditional celebrations than any other country on Earth. Every season has its rhythm, every region its own heartbeat. In spring, the delicate bloom of cherry blossom signals the arrival of Hanami. Families, lovers, and friends gather under sakura trees, drinking sake, singing songs, and laughing under pink petals that fall like gentle snow. It's not just flower viewing, it's a celebration of life's fleeting beauty. Come summer, the city of Kyoto erupts into color with the Gion Matsuri, a festival over 1,000 years old, filled with massive floats, silk banners, and rhythmic chants that echo through the ancient streets. The floats are architectural marvels, some nearly 9 meters tall, dragged by hundreds of people inch by inch through the city's heart. Further south in Tokushima, the AWA Odori Festival turns the streets into a kaleidoscope of movement, where more than 1.3 million people gather to dance, clap, and lose themselves in the rhythm of tradition. Everyone is welcome, the young, the old, locals, and tourists, all moving as one body in a joyful trance that feels eternal. In autumn, the skies of Aomori glow with Nebuta Matsuri, a parade of giant illuminated lanterns shaped like gods, warriors, and mythical beasts. These glowing giants float through the night surrounded by taiko drums and joyful cries. Then winter arrives and instead of stillness, Japan lights up once more, with snow festivals, ice sculptures, and fireworks bursting over snow-covered lakes in Hokkaido. Against the pure white canvas, color explodes. It is contrast, beauty, and wonder rolled into a single breath. In Japan, a festival is more than a party. It's a preservation of memory, a rebirth of culture, and an invitation to step into a living story, one that connects the villagers of the past with the neon hearts of today. In Japan, food is more than nourishment, it is philosophy on a plate. A meal is not merely served, it is composed, crafted, performed. From the elegant simplicity of sushi to the street-side joy of takoyaki, Japanese cuisine balances discipline with delight, art with adventure. Every dish follows the principle of washoku, the way of Japanese food, a UNESCO-recognized cultural heritage that values seasonality, balance, and aesthetic harmony. The colors must mirror nature. The textures must contrast yet complement. Even the sound, the crisp crunch of tempura, or the slurp of ramen, plays a part in the performance. But if you think Japan's culinary world is just about grace and refinement, think again. Hot spring paradise, Japan's 27,000 natural baths and the sacred ritual of soaking. Dare to venture deeper and you'll find dishes that challenge even the most intrepid foodies. Take basashi for instance, raw horse meat, sliced thin like sashimi and served cold with soy sauce, garlic, and ginger. A regional delicacy in Kumamoto, it's prized for being low in fat, high in iron, and surprisingly sweet. Locals swear by its health benefits. But for most visitors, it's more of a psychological Everest, a dish that tests your bravery and taste buds in equal measure. Try it once and you'll never forget it, even if you never order it again. And if you thought dessert was a safe zone, think again. In Japan, ice cream isn't just sweet, it's spectacularly surreal. At a specialty parlor in Tokyo, you can sample over 100 flavors, each more bizarre than the last. There's soy sauce ice cream, cactus, squid ink, miso ramen, grilled beef, and yes, even horse meat flavored scoops. Some taste surprisingly good, others are better left as stories. But all of them speak to Japan's fearless culinary spirit. A culture that's not afraid to reimagine the familiar in the most unexpected ways. Even traditional sweets come with surprises. Try mochi stuffed with pickled cherry blossoms or matcha jellies dusted in kinako, which is toasted soy flour. Or visit a konbini, a Japanese convenience store, and you'll find everything from bento boxes that rival fine dining to seasonal Kit Kat flavors like wasabi, purple sweet potato, or sake. In Japan, every bite is a story, every flavor a reflection of place, season, and philosophy. It is a country where food is as much about curiosity as it is about culture. So, would you dare a scoop of squid ink or ramen-flavored ice cream? If so, comment number 14 below, and bring your appetite for adventure. The cost of living in Japan is definitely on the higher side, but honestly many people find it worth every yen. Living in Japan is like owning a front-row seat to the future, set against a backdrop of ancient tradition. But that seat doesn't come cheap. Tokyo, one of the world's most vibrant megacities, regularly ranks among the top 10 most expensive cities on Earth. A one-bedroom apartment in central Tokyo might cost anywhere from $1,300 to $2,500 per month, depending on size and neighborhood. In upscale areas like Shibuya or Minato, prices climb higher still. But move to the city's outer suburbs, or explore quieter towns like Fukuoka, Sapporo, or Nagano, and you'll find rents as low as $400 to $800, with just as much charm, if not more peace. Despite the housing costs, daily life in Japan is refreshingly affordable and efficient. You can grab a satisfying steaming bowl of ramen or curry rice for just $6 to $10. Bento lunchboxes from convenience stores like 7-Eleven or Family Mart are delicious, fresh, and often under $5, a far cry from what fast food usually means elsewhere. For mid-range dining, a meal for two can range between $30 to $80, depending on the occasion. And yes, McDonald's is here too, $5 to $7 per combo meal. Utilities like electricity, gas, water, and garbage collection range from $100 to $200 per month, fluctuating with the seasons. Japanese summers are hot and humid, and winters can be bitter, especially in the north, so heating and cooling bills can spike. But efficiency is everywhere, from energy-saving appliances to toilets smarter than some smartphones. Internet is lightning fast, with monthly plans between $30 and $50. An unlimited mobile data plan costs around $20 to $50, with top-tier networks like NTT Docomo and SoftBank leading the way. Japan's public transportation system, clean, punctual, and vast, is world-class, but not cheap. A monthly commuter pass might cost anywhere from $80 to $150, depending on your route. Healthcare is affordable and excellent. Basic dental cleanings cost around $30 to $50, while more complex procedures still come in far below Western rates. And, thanks to universal health insurance, medical care is accessible and of consistently high quality. Even leisure activities are thoughtfully priced. Gym memberships usually run between $50 to $100 a month, but, if you're looking to save, a lot of locals actually exercise in free public parks or join local sports clubs. City libraries, community centers, and hiking trails all offer low-cost, high-quality ways to enjoy life. On average, a single person in Japan can live comfortably on about $1,500 to $3,500 per month, depending on their lifestyle and location. Students and minimalist expats tend to live closer to the lower end, while tech professionals or expats in Tokyo's city core might spend more. But in return, they get access to everything from Michelin-starred sushi bars to, honestly, even robot-run cafes. So yes, Japan can be expensive, but what you get in return is a clean, safe, culturally rich, and seamlessly modern lifestyle that's honestly hard to match. Every yen spent here is, well, an investment in efficiency, beauty, and inspiration. In Japan, every detail tells a story, from the steam rising off a hidden mountain onsen, to the quiet rustle of bamboo in an ancient forest. Here, modern trains glide past centuries-old shrines and vending machines stand beside cherry trees that have witnessed 1,000 springs. This is a country where silence speaks louder than words, where meals are poetry, where festivals are time machines, and where even the smallest gesture holds the weight of history. Japan is not just a destination, it is a state of mind, a place that challenges you to slow down, to listen, to feel. So when you leave Japan, you don't just carry souvenirs in your suitcase. You carry a stillness in your heart, and the quiet realization that some journeys never truly end. This is Japan, and its story is now a part of yours. Thanks for traveling with us. Wherever you are in the world, remember, home isn't just a place, it's a perspective. We'll see you in the next story, only here on Beyond Borders. Hit subscribe, share the journey, and stay curious.